Long ago, in the land of Israel, two mighty armies stood ready for battle. On one side were the Israelites, God's people. On the other, the Philistines, fierce warriors who had a terrifying champion. His name? Goliath. The ground trembles as a towering figure steps forward. His armor clanks with every movement. He lifts his massive spear, and his deep voice booms across the valley. Is there no one brave enough to fight me? Send out your strongest man. If he defeats me, we will serve you. But if I win, you will serve us. Goliath wasn't just big. He was a giant, nearly 10 feet tall. His shadow stretched over the trembling soldiers. His bronze armor gleamed in the sun, his spear alone weighing more than a grown man. The Israelites, they froze in fear. Even King Saul, their strongest warrior, dared not face him. Cut to the Israelites whispering, looking away, gripping their swords with shaky hands. But far from a battlefield, in a quiet green pasture, a young shepherd named David was tending his father's sheep. He was no soldier, just a boy who loved God with all his heart. When David visited the battlefield and heard Goliath's challenge, he couldn't believe it. Who is this giant that dares to insult the armies of the living God? I will fight him. As David strides toward King Saul's tent, the king studies him, eyes wide in disbelief. When King Saul heard this, he was stunned. David, you're just a boy. Goliath has been a warrior his whole life. But David stood tall and said, when I watched my father's sheep, lions and bears came to attack, I fought them off with my own hands. God protected me then, and he will protect me now. Saul sighs, then hands David his heavy bronze armor. David stumbles under the weight. The armor was too big. It clanked loudly as David tried to move. He shook his head, took it off, and picked up something much smaller. Cut to David kneeling by a bubbling stream. He runs his fingers over smooth stones before carefully choosing 5. He places them in his pouch, gripping his one slingshot tightly. 5 smooth stones. A simple slingshot. That was all he carried, because David knew God was his strength. Cut to David stepping onto the battlefield. The wind picks up, rustling his tunic. Goliath squints, then bursts into laughter. Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? Come here, boy. I will feed you to the birds. You come at me with a sword and a spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today, he will give you into my hands. The wind stills. David takes a deep breath. The sound of his heartbeat thuds softly. Whoosh! The sling spins above his head. Faster, faster. Whoosh! David releases a stone. The camera follows it, cutting through the air, smack, right into Goliath's forehead. A stunned silence. Then, Goliath wobbles and crashes to the ground. Dust billows around him. David did it. With one stone and great faith, he defeated the mighty Goliath. The Israelite army erupted in cheers. The Philistines, they ran in fear. That day, David proved that true strength doesn't come from weapons, but from trusting in God. David wasn't the strongest, the tallest, or the most experienced warrior, but he had something greater, faith. He knew that when God is with you, no giant is too big. What giants are you facing today? Fear? Doubt? Hard times? Remember, just like David, you're not alone. Stand strong, trust God, and watch him do the impossible. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs encouragement today.